My friends, greetings and another beautiful day from Buncrana, Donegal in the Emerald Isle. Today I want to reveal to you from the great book, The Amazing Secret of Purgatory, the 3 golden keys to avoid purgatory and go straight to heaven. If you'd like to support this channel in any way, please do so through Buy Me a Coffee. Let's get right into it. Now, this is an amazing book. It's another interview with Marissima. There are at least 3 to 4 books about Marissima interviewing her. They're all fantastic. Check them out. And this is one that I recently got a hold of. It's very short, very insightful. Let's get right into them. It says here, Maria, I am thinking of the good thief who was next to Jesus on the cross. I really would like to know what he did for Jesus to promise him that this very day he would be in the kingdom with him. He humbly, and Marissima says, he humbly accepted his suffering, saying that it was justice, and he encouraged the other thief to accept this too. He had the fear of God, which means humility. Humility is the first golden key that will allow us to escape purgatory and enter straight into heaven. The next 2 keys will build on it. But for us to really use humility, we need to understand it in a mystical sense, understand it in all its depths. Humility, contrary to what many people say, is at the very root self-love. Now, I will repeat that again, and I will change the word that I use. Humility at the very root is self-charity. Love understood properly, love the way that God loves, that type of love. Why? Why is humility self-charity, self-divine love? Because it sees the truth and isn't afraid to accept it. Now, when we look at ourselves in love, and the love of God in the mirror, and we ask, who am I? What's the answer? Nothing. We are nothing. We are nothing. We are no one. We are of no significance. That's the truth. See, humility sees the truth. It cuts through all the wanting to make you feel good. It cuts through respecting your feelings. It cuts through whatever is politically correct. And it says what's the truth, that we are nothing. When you look at all of creation, look at all this. It is so beautiful. The God who made all of this, who designed even just nature and all these plants, how can we compare to him? We're nothing, and he is everything, and we do not exist on our own. And a person who is humble sees that and isn't afraid to accept it, and then to love it, and then to embrace it. So in the case of the good thief, he saw that he was a sinner, that he deserved to die, that he deserved to be crucified, that it was just, and he loved it. He embraced it. He embraced it completely to where he was able to say, Jesus, I deserve this. Just all I ask is that you remember me when you come into your kingdom. That was the truth. Humility cuts through all the layers of pride, and it lets us see what really is there. Now, in contrast, then what is pride? Pride, believe it or not, is actually self-hatred. Someone who is proud is afraid to accept who they really are. They hate themselves, and then they put on a mask in an attempt to be someone else. Let's take, for example, the principal person here, Satan. Satan saw himself. He hated that he was only an angel. He hated that he wasn't God. He hated that he wasn't going to be given all the other privileges that Jesus and Mary in the future were going to be given. He hated how he had been made. And in that, he took on pride to hide that in an attempt to grasp at something else. That's what happens when we have pride. We have this self-hatred that makes us grasp for more than is ours to grab. Remember that. This is a profound way of seeing humility and pride. Now let's go on to the next key, which builds on this, and you will see how. Another beautiful example of how to go straight to heaven of this is related by Marissima. It shows how a good action makes up for a whole life of sin. Let's hear it from Maria herself. I knew a young man of about 20 in a nearby village. This young man's village had been cruelly stricken by a series of avalanches, which had killed a large number of people. One night, this young man was at his parents' when he heard an avalanche just then next door to his house. He heard piercing screams, heart-rending screams, "Save us, come save us, we are trapped beneath the avalanche." Leaping up, he rose from his bed and rushed downstairs to go to the rescue of these people. His mother had heard the screams and prevented him from leaving. She blocked the door, saying, "No, let others go and help them. Not always us. It's too dangerous outside. I don't want yet another death." But because he had been deeply affected by these screams, he really wanted to go to the rescue of these people. He pushed his mother aside. He said to her, "Yes, I'm going. I can't let them die like this." He went out, and then he himself on the path was struck by an avalanche and was killed. 3 days after his death, he comes to visit me at night, and he says to me, "Have 3 masses said for me. Through this, I will be delivered from purgatory." I went to inform his family and friends. They were astonished to know that after only 3 masses, he would be delivered from purgatory. His friend said to me, "Oh, I would not have liked to be in his shoes, in his place in the moment of death, if you had seen all the bad things he had done." But this young man said to me, "You see, I have made an act of pure love in risking my life for these people. It is thanks to this that the Lord welcomed me so quickly into his heaven." Yes, charity covers a multitude of sins. Do you see that? Humility, which is really underneath self-charity, being unafraid to see ourselves as we are, and embrace the truth of our nothingness, unafraid of doing that, leads us to charity and love of others. Because when we see our nothingness, we see that to serve others through love is the greatest privilege on earth. What's the secret of charity? He gives it to us. Did you hear it? It was so good. I've heard this before in a talk, and it is so profound. Listen to this. But because he had been deeply affected by these screams, he really wanted to go to the rescue of these people. That's charity. Charity will come alive when we let our eyes, our ears, our nose, our mouth, and our touch, all of our 5 senses, be affected by the sufferings of the people that we see. Can you think of a time when you've walked down the street and there's maybe a homeless person or someone that's maybe less than desirable for you to talk to, and you see their need and you don't let yourself be affected like the mother? Nope, they don't need help. Oh, they probably did committed some sin. They're probably on drugs, or they're probably this, or someone else will help them. Whatever excuses that we come up with. That's when charity dies, when we don't allow ourselves to be affected by the suffering of other people. Take, for instance, of course, many of you have heard, and we pray for the repose of their souls, the many, now it's upwards of 100 people who died in the floods in Texas. Many people are watching all of this, and you see the whole world allowing itself to be affected. Now, obviously, you can allow yourself to be affected in your heart and then not do anything, but many people are then taking action and thinking, now that I'm letting this affect me, what am I going to do? What action am I going to take? What decision am I going to make? It's the same with the souls in purgatory. We can hear their stories all day long and not do anything, but it's when we let what we hear affect our heart that then we could decide and think, what should I do? Let me just have a mass offered. That's it. That's all I have to do. And in humility, we don't see this as a burden, but we see this as an incredible gift. So when we have humility, it facilitates charity because it opens the door of our hearts to be affected by the things that we see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. Now let's go to the last golden key to help us skip purgatory and go straight into heaven. Marius Sima says this: "It is very important at the hour of death to abandon ourselves to God's will. Humility, which leads to charity, which then leads to abandonment. Maria told me of the case of a mother of 4 children who was about to die. Instead of rebelling and worrying, she said to the Lord, I accept death as long as it is your will, and I put my life in your hands. I entrust my sons to you, and I know that you will take care of them. Maria said that because of her immense trust in God, this woman went straight to heaven and avoided purgatory. Did you hear the secret of abandoning yourself to God's will? It's complicated. It's actually not as easy as it sounds. People say, oh, just abandon yourself to God's will. But listen to what she said. Because I know that you will take care of them. We will abandon ourselves to God when we see Him as He is. And when we come to understand what His character is really like, what He's really like. It's the same thing as humility. It's the flip side of humility. Abandonment is vision into God, where we see how beautiful God is, how trustworthy God is, how tender, how much He will take care of us. She knew that. She knew that He would take care of all of them. That's why she could let herself go. If we don't think that God is going to take care of us, if we believe that God is a jerk, if we believe that God is stingy or will not provide, of course you're not going to abandon yourself. You'll say that you will, but when the moment comes, when the flood comes, you won't do it. You will not do it. How can we grow in our trust of God? Then this is the question that we need to ask. Simple. First, you begin with what you've already lived. You see, God has provided for you in millions of ways. It's just we don't keep track of all of them because there's so many and we overlook at least half of them. But if you started looking at your life and you started counting and writing and making a list and remembering all the different ways that God has provided for you, you would have so much evidence in your mind to believe the truth. And what's the truth? That God has been taking care of you this whole time. And if you need more evidence, suppose that you make a list and you have like 1,000 things that God has done for you, and you say, God, this is not enough. I need more evidence so that I can trust you more, so then I can abandon myself to you when I die. Because that's what I want to do. I want to go straight to heaven. And I want to do what Maria Sima says, which makes complete sense. Even Jesus did that. Father, I entrust my spirit into your hands. He says it differently. I'm just paraphrasing. Then ask the Lord, Lord, can you please give me moments or opportunities to show me that you take care of me? And you know what? It's not the big moments that will convince your heart. It's the little ones. I have found that it's in the little ways, the little details that I see that, yes, God, how did you know that? You provided this thing that I needed. How did you know that? Those are the ones that I think convince me the most and will convince you the most. So ask the Lord, ask Jesus, ask Mary, please give me these tiny little things. Don't ask for big things. Give me these tiny little things, because if you can see the small things, if you are faithful in the small, I can believe that you will be faithful in the big things as well. My friends, with humility leading to charity, leading to abandoning ourselves into the hands of a God that He's deserving of to be abandoned into, that we owe Him our trust because He is trustworthy. With these 3 things working in us, we will purify all our defects right here on earth. God will provide everything that we need to go straight to heaven, skipping purgatory. My friends, if this video has helped you in any way, please subscribe and like and support this channel through Buy Me a Coffee. I'll see you in the next one. And I'll give you a little view of where I'm at in this beautiful ocean. So wonderful. A few more minutes. Check out this beautiful beauty that we have over here.